Hello, everybody, and welcome to Saturday, Week 2, Day 2, Broadcast.gg's coverage, South American Contenders. My name's Pokemon Panda. I am joined on the desk today by my lovely analysts. We have LaFon and Naori. We have a slobber knocker of matches on the docket for your Saturday, and we would like to thank you all for joining us on said matches. Just as a quick little note here, for our first match, it's going to end up being the team of Based versus Quad Gaming. Sure, you might be asking yourselves who Based is. Just a quick little run through from our previous week. They were previously known as Brazil Gaming House. Coming into week 2, the handle of Brazil Gaming House is out the window and Based tryhards are now in. And this is the team that has been running through 2018 Contenders with a smile on their face, winning everything ever so convincingly. With their lineup getting a little shaken up, we saw Klaus go up to North American Contenders with Boston Academy, and now we have Dudu coming back into play. LaFon, I have a strong question indeed for you with the team of Based tryhards. Will you see any stumbling along the way with Dudu coming back into the lineup?
I mean, I personally don't think so. Dudu did in fact play with formerly BGH, now Based tryhards, at last contender season. So it is not exactly unexpected for him to come back in. I think it's going to be hitting the ground running here for BTH. They're not going to really struggle whatsoever. This match, I think, is going to be very much in their favor.
Yeah, something that you do need to consider, though, is obviously he's just had this hiatus for the past couple of weeks. And sure, a couple of weeks doesn't seem like a long time, but like in Overwatch time, with the way that the meta is constantly evolving, new heroes are being reworked, new compositions are constantly being challenged and changed and rearranged, that might be a little bit of an issue. But I think overall, their performance is going to be business as usual.
Business as usual. I like that, because don't forget that the core group of Base now was a standout in the LA qualifiers for Overwatch World Cup. Dudu made a strong outing on that. His hit scan is very strong, pairing along with Liko at the same time. A lot of good flexibility could come around between Brigitte and Zarya. We'll never really know, but I want to focus more on Quad Gaming here. Naori, for Quad, this is more about showing the world what they got and almost use Based tryhards almost as a measuring stick, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it's so important going up against these strong teams, because you know exactly where you stand kind of on the food chain. You want to know where you are in the grand scheme of things. And so based on how they do now, I mean, last week they played against Ints Gaming and they came through strongly with a 3-2 win. So that was like an evenly matched game, and now we've got kind of an idea, okay, they're kind of the same level as Ints, cool, fair enough. Now we need to know, where do they stand in terms of the best team on this ladder? And this is definitely what they're going for here, because, I mean, let's face it, the chances of them winning this, it's going to be, I mean, if they can pull it off, it'll be absolutely fantastic. But I think that Based are just way too strong right now. So more than anything, this game is about finding out, where do I stack up? Where do we as Quad Gaming stack up against the best? Once we know that, then we have a really good idea of how we're going to fare in the rest of Contenders. And that's definitely their main focus.
And I want to expand this on to you as well, LaFon. As somebody that has had his feet smothered in collegiate Overwatch for the past 2 years or so, what does this necessarily mean in the state of Overwatch as it may be? When you come out as a team and you are going up against a Goliath of Based tryhards now, how do you fare and bring that as Quad Gaming?
I mean, if you're Quad Gaming, this is one of the more, like Naori said, it's very much, how do we stack up? How do we measure up? Because I think if you're to ask very many people who are, following the South American region, Based tryhards are the best team in this region. It's not even a case of hiding around it. It's literally they are the best region. So I think for Quad Gaming, they need to figure out, they need to play their game, and they need to figure out if they can actually bring it up the same level.
Well, we will definitely find out if they can bring it to the same level. The first map on this Saturday will be Ilias, and our lovely casters are more than adept to tell you the story that's about to unfold, so we'll throw it on over to them. Rich Rad, Katrina, please take it away.
Hello. Thank you, Des, for giving us that amazing handoff here, as we are going to get into Ilios as the first match. Katrina, How are you doing today, and how do you think this first match is going to go? You know, as the desk said, we're going to really see how Quad Gaming is going to stack themselves up, finding their, their stride, what they're going to really place themselves as here, and how do you think it's going to, play out here against this team?
We have to be a bit realistic here, knowing that base tryhards, based off of Brazilian Gaming House's roster, we're most likely going to be looking at a 4-0 victory on their side. Quad Gaming, though, has an opportunity, as Naori was saying, to really show how they can stack up to the winner of last season's South American Contenders. And I think the players who really watch on Quad, the one who can bring it home for them, is Aegis on his Widowmaker, especially if we head over to Ruins. So the map pool of Ilios will depend on the performance overall of Quad Gaming, I would say.
And, as you said, seeing that Widowmaker on Runes, it's going to be extremely interesting. If they're going to be able to find that silent, Aegis is going to have a lot of weight on their shoulders going into this, which is going to be the first map that we will look to see. And, of course, we also look to maybe see Dudu also onto the Widowmaker as well.
Yes, I'll definitely be excited to see that matchup. Double Sniper, it looks like base tryhards will be teasing right now with Liko on the Hanzo. This can be absolutely devastating. However, Quad Gaming is deciding to run that classic triple tank, triple support composition with Hero Fly running that Zenyatta. So Neil is going to have a lot of support coming in from Colero on his own Zenyatta to be able to sustain so much damage and shield breaking potential on the side of Quad Gaming.
And they're already starting to get that high ground position here in the back. You do see Honorado on that back line looking to potentially engage here. An early pick, though, onto Ponchi, getting the pick off. Nice job here by Lyco on that side of tryhards, getting an early pick, forcing back Quad Gaming, and they're going to have to look to wait for that 6th member here quickly.
Yes, even though there was only a single pick in that first fight, sometimes that is all you need, especially in that triple tank, triple support composition. Lucio is so key for the mobility, even when you are running those dive tank compositions. So right now we see Dudu is doing quite a bit of work on the Widowmaker just by zoning, and Liko gets another pick onto Hero Fly.
And that's going to be an easy double kill here. Again, staggering Quad, forcing them back. Triple kill coming out by the Hanzo play. Great job with a follow-up in addition. That's just a complete reset right now. And again, they're getting these crucial early picks here onto Quad Gaming, allowing them to sustain on this point.
I do not think Quad Gaming has even touched the point once so far, and we do see some adaptation coming in with XQC on a budget, switching over to that Reinhardt, providing even more shielding, and Hero Fly is swapping to that Moira. Will be able to use that Fade ability to avoid some more of these devastating picks from Liko and Dudu right now.
And again, with the Dragon Strike coming out here as they are clustering to the right-hand side, they're going to wait to see if they can find the opportunity. There it is. Not going to gain as much out of it, though. Able to stagger away from it, dropping onto the point here quickly. Looking for a nice early pick here by Dudu again, though. Taking out Hero Fly on the Moira. Again, already shutting down one of those supports. They do have the positioning on the floor, though. Being able to hold strong. Quad Gaming trying to turn it around, managing to do so. The D-Mac with the follow-up as well onto Honorado. Continuing to get some pressure, though, with Dudu on the high ground. Nobody really harassing the Widowmaker. Finding those sightlines. Trying to get some shots here onto the Brigitte, almost able to get it, with the shield still giving a lot of protection. 70% still trying to wear this out. Tryhard still doing a great job, looking to now turn it around, falling back just enough, generating the Dragon Strike, and again, still managed to hold this regardless of the pressure by Quad Gaming.
Yes, Quad looked like they were almost going to be able to take this point, but with base tryhards, anything is possible when you have such a strong DPS composition coming in from Dudu and Liko, who has another Dragon Strike. There's also Transcendence available coming in from Colero. Here comes that Dragon Strike, but the Sound Barrier might negate a lot of that damage.
And this is going to be the last opportunity here for Quad Gaming to really do anything. They have the Self-Destruct and the Graviton, but another early pick here onto the support, taking out Ponchi, getting the Graviton now, trying to combine the Self-Destruct. High overhead is the Primal Rage's Force. There's going to be the explosion onto Alamana as they do get the pick onto the support, trying to, again, keep this in their favor. Self-Destruct in return. Nice shield, though, coming out, though, on this side of Quad Gaming, keeping it alive, but more damage just coming out overhead by Lyco on this Hanzo, looking to shut them down. They've managed to turn it, at least getting to 12%, but it looks like you're going to see tryhard switch it back immediately, and now it's going to be another last attempt here. Overtime taking away the quick boop to get them away from the point as they do claim round 1 in Ilios.
Yes, with a 100% to 14% victory on Ruins, base tryhards is already showing how versatile they are. They have so many different compositional factors that they can bring to this game. And seeing that double sniper right away up against Quad Gaming's GOAT's composition was, to be frank, quite a joy to watch. We do see Aegis now going to adapt to a sniper of his own with Godman on the Pharah. It does look like we will be seeing an identical DPS composition coming in from base tryhards. So with this Pharah, expect a couple more environmental kills. However, I'm excited to see Neil on this Hammond, on this Wrecking Ball, if he does decide to pick this hero. That's going to definitely make things a little bit more difficult for XQC on a budget to take over some more space on that Winston.
And you're going to see the combination here of that Pharmacy in the high ground, seeing who's going to be the better matchup here in this aerial battle. 15 seconds until the control points. You do see the shots coming in by the hit scan in the back. Maybe going to get a pick and even exchange, though. Dudu and Aegis going to go down on the Hanzos by the Pharah, making it still a 5v5 as they transition low, needing to see if they can try and capitalize on this point with 4 seconds until it becomes active. Managing the high ground, a lot of damage still being rained overhead by Godman, looking to take that aerial battle. HeroFly also going to get the pick here onto Alamong as they do get another D-Mech, just continuing to just rain damage from both sides, using that Pharah play as Ponchi's also going to go down. Trying to transition now to the low ground. You do see Quad Gaming at least be able to capitalize on this, but Lyco's still going to deal some significant damage here. Looking for that flanking position, trying to contest, does go down by Godman, showing the better play here in the aerial position as Aegis does get the snip onto two members looking for the third.
Yes, and Aegis just was outstanding in his first matchup of the season against Ints. We are going to see potentially another triple kill coming from that Widowmaker, and now we're going to see some adaptation coming in from base tryhards. They now know what Quad is going to be relying on, and Dudu is ready to bring out that McCree to counter Godman's Pharah up in the sky. Neil will also be switching over to a Winston of his own, but that also will reset so much ultimate economy on the side of base tryhards. They only have that nano boost available.
Godman now having that economy here for ultimate. That is going to be that rocket barrage, as you said, seeing if they can try and claim dominance. Aegis getting another kill onto Dodo, able to get that kill on the McCree, bringing them down, still trying to maintain the high ground here. Godman maybe going to use that rocket barrage, but no real D2. Aegis is just killing it right now on the consistent pressure by tryhards.
Yes, and Dudu now is going to switch over to that Widowmaker of his own. He was so successful on that first round of Ruins, so right now Aegis has his work cut out for him potentially, but with the infrared sight ultimate available on the side of this Widowmaker, all of that extra information might be devastating for Liko, who's going to be a bit more conservative flying up in the skies.
Godman trying to get the pick here early, but getting low themselves, does go down. There's the shot coming in high overhead by the Widowmaker play. In return, though, getting Lyco as well. Res for both Pharahs, though, by that Pocket Mercy to keep that damage going, and it's at 80% here for Quad Gaming. They're going to really have to choose how they want to engage this by tryhards to see if they're going to maybe get into the overtime. 15% to go, and they have 4 ultimates going into this. Maneuvering now back onto the low ground, and if they're going to have enough here in the ult economy to turn it back against Quad Gaming.
Yes, right now Quad Gaming, though, has that Transcendence, but right now with Neil coming in with that nano boost, will that be able to do all the work against the support line? HeroFly is going quite low.
And they trigger it into the overtime self-destruct just around the corner as they get the D-Mech, but the Transcendence managing to keep a lot of healing up here, but no, they're going to be able to keep them off. Quad Gaming able to keep it for 100% to 0. Nice job.
That is a massive victory coming in for Quad Gaming against most likely the best team in South American Contenders. So right there, they do know that their Pharah, their Widowmaker composition was extremely effective. So we will see what base tryhards will end up doing to counter that. However, it does look like Neil will be on the Orisa, a hero that we don't often see in South American Contenders. But when we go to Well, you do know that environmental kills can sometimes be the name of the game of this map.
Especially when it comes to momentum and mobility around that center pit. You can really try and utilize the positioning with the Orisa, with the protective shield on the opposite side of the lighthouse if they do have some aggressive play. So it's going to be interesting to see how they utilize this character.
Yes, with Liko being on that McCree, though, I'm curious to see how much shield breaking potential there will be, as there isn't necessarily that dive coming in from Quad Gaming on the DPS side. Yes, there is that Winston and that D.Va providing all of that extra mobility, but with Aegis on the Zarya, that extra particle bubble will make it a lot more difficult to damage those dive tanks coming in. Right now, there's just a rotation coming in with a point. Neil getting some excellent positioning, and it looks like base tryhards will be able to take this first percentage.
And that just mobility and coordination coming out by tryhard. You get the halt to pull a few members in by Quad Gaming, hoping to get some pick opportunities. Now they ambush from the rear, trying to contest here against on a budget as they do get the push here, pushing him back to the center, needing to be careful as they do reposition now. Aggression coming out by Dodo, though, on that Brigitte. Nice CC as well. You see Quad Gaming getting very low with the double kill by the Deadeye. Liko getting a nice double kill early in this, starting to force them back, completely stabilizing on this point, and Quad Gaming is going to have to force a retreat here and try and regroup.
Just how quickly that ultimate built up. Liko was able to get that Deadeye very quickly with, I believe, the Winston XQC on the budget did end up in the well. Right now, Liko getting even more kills onto Aegis, further staggering this. XQC on the budget has switched over to that Reinhardt, so we will see how these two heroes will interact with each other a bit more. Calero now has the Transcendence, though, so any amount of damage coming in from Quad Gaming will have to be a bit more patient as you do wait for that Transcendence to, ideally for Quad, be released a bit early. Ultimate economy wise, we have about 4 ultimates online for base tryhards in the next 10 seconds. So Quad is going to have to be quite conservative with how they use their own.
Maneuvering now to that flanking position, already at 33%, a decent amount. And again, this is where the mobility is going to come in. Reinhardt moving to the center, needing to be careful of that potential halt opportunity behind the shield as they maneuver out. On the budget, getting very low, still continuing to roundabout this well as they want to find a pick opportunity, but having a difficult time doing it, as you do see Tryhard just continuously picking them off with damage, almost getting the kills, forcing out the Transcendence. Now going to get a nice engager on the budget, able to get into the back line. Now the Graviton following up as well with the sound barrier coming out by Quad Gaming, but the Deadeye is going to be used, maybe going to get a pick here through that corridor on the right-hand side, really just to zone them away. Still keeping this as it's going to be Quad Gaming at least generating 10% here, but they don't want to give it up. Starting to pressure forward and now immediately turns back to Tryhards.
While Liko used that zoning Deadeye, so much work was done by the rest of his team on base tryhards, with Calero leading the charge, being able to chase down Quad Gaming and get some kills. And right now, there's even more hero switches on the side of Quad. They are switching back to that Hanzo and Pharah that was so successful for them on their last map of Ilios. So right now we're seeing a complete reset, but with 75% online for base tryhards, will they be able to get any ultimates online? Oh, a kill on Liko though!
Godman able to get the early pick, taking out the McCree. That's going to be a huge opportunity for them as they are at 85%. 15 still to go for them to try and turn this around. Numbers advantage on Quad Gaming as they still maintain this point, trying to force them around this pillar. Raining a lot of damage overhead, forcing that Diva to try and engage the Pharah. Godman finally going down, but will look to get res, but they managed to get Hero Fly quickly onto that res, not allowing them to get their numbers back as now the overtime commences. 99 to 12%, still trying to tuck them away. Slowly but surely ticks away as they need to just dive on and off the point, but too many members getting picked off here by Quad Gaming as that's going to be based tryhards claiming victory on Ilios.
Yes, even though base tryhards had a very convincing victory on Ilios, Quad must be extremely proud to have gotten that second map win on Windmill. That was absolutely incredible, unexpected for me that they would even be able to get a 100% to 0. That is to no insult to Quad. They are a very capable team, as you did see with that Pharah, Hanzo, Widowmaker. There's so many ways that Quad can express their skill. They have quite a diverse hero pool. However, when you are up against those juggernauts of base tryhard, you have to take every single fight win as a victory practically, as base tryhards only lost a single map. Map last year in South American Contenders.
And again, you know, to kind of piggyback off of them in a really good position to think, you know, we were able to do that. It was almost noticeable between both teams, really, that once they were able to come out with a more dominant composition and they stayed on it, there were so many switches on the opposite team, losing the ultimate economy, losing that momentum. It was more harmful in some respects than beneficial with the ultimate economy that they did lose with those consistent changes.
Yes, and even though there were quite a few switches, the ones that came in from base tryhards at Ruins were extremely effective, extremely successful when they needed to swap things up because they did them at an appropriate time, allowing them to build up those ultimates so much quicker. But Liko building up that Deadeye in, I believe, under a minute, well, that was the highlight for me of this first map of Ilios.
And we'll go ahead and see if there are going to be more opportunities for those quick ultimate generations as we do go to a brief break, giving some time before we do enter into the next match. So we'll be back in just a moment. as we go into it, it is going to be the map of Hollywood. So again, with us already seeing tryhards gaining this first control point victory, how do you think Quad Gaming is going to have to adjust their alteration here to try and really start turning this back into their favor now on this hybrid map?
Well,